Welcome back, everybody. I got another character kind of bio for you guys today. This time I'm going to be talking about Implant, who is another one of the heroes himself. He is one of the older members of the team. He doesn't disclose his age, but he's going to be probably 18 or 19. Just to give you guys an idea. So he's a little bit older than the rest of them, about the same age as Cyan, so he sees himself as kind of like more in charge. He's kind of like first mate to Cyan, but more like Starscream to Megatron than an actual follower. Not to say that he's trying to like take over because he doesn't really want to be the leader. That's too much responsibility for him. That's not what he's into, but more just like he doesn't always do what Cyan says, and he's like the one that gets away with it the most because he is about her age. He might be older. Not really sure. He doesn't tell anybody. He's very, very personal, very to himself. He mostly because he's just angry all the time. So giving you guys an idea, again, it's here. Hopefully these images come up okay. Implant. His name is very descriptive of what he is and what he can do. So the only thing I don't like about this image I made, see a while ago, it says 2014, or if I can get it right. So it's at least 2 years old. This was back when the characters were older, so obviously a newer picture would make him look a little bit younger, especially in the face. Um, but his whole thing is that he has all kinds of like cybernetic implants, which is why it's called Implant. Basically, he is an augment, but not by birth. He, um, what was it? He was born a normal human. He's got no genetic extra anything. He just went through all kinds of surgeries and things to increase his abilities. He's super strong. He's super fast. He's really durable. He's got lots of other cool things that aren't as obvious. He's got, should be able to see in the picture, he's got kind of like Iron Man. He's got things in his palms. Ooh, I'm going backwards here, where he can shoot, we just call them palm blasts. He can shoot out of them, which is pretty cool. He likes to wield knives as his primary weapon. Besides that, for when his power energy is low, um, and he always wears sunglasses all the time because he doesn't have eyeballs anymore. They were replaced with some kind of ocular device. If anybody's read any of the Enders series, his eyesight is a lot like Oyato. That's how you pronounce his name. One of the kids from like Speaker for the Dead, who had cybernetic eyes. So he can see in all kinds of different ways. He can use X-rays. He can see in infrared. He can scan things. He can get all kinds of information linked to the computer that's in his brain because, yeah, of course he's got a computer in his brain. He's got one thing I think is really cool about his design is he's got these like exposed cables and things in his arms. He's also got a tattoo. The exposed cables and things show the augmented muscles that make him so strong. He does have a lot of biological components still. He's got bones and muscle and tissue, skin, all internal organs. Maybe some of them are replaced. It's kind of like how the J.J. Abrams is treating BB-8, where it's like he can do all this stuff. He's got all these little ports that open up and things come out, but he's not going to say this is all the things he can do because if there's a way they can write in new abilities for him, they're going to do that. Same kind of thing with Implant. There's all kinds of augments that we don't know about yet. He's constantly upgrading, whether he wants to or not. The leader of the science team for the $100 Heroes, his name is Supernova because of his basically for his temper. But we'll go talk about him later, where he's constantly giving Implant new stuff. Implant wants to get rocket boots or rocket feet really bad so he can fly, which would be super cool. Also, on his shoulders, you notice the big gray things are another mechanical implant that allow him to absorb energy to power his systems. So he can get sunlight, will work a little bit. One of his favorite things to do is to absorb Prism's energy blast, but we'll talk about that more when we get to Prism. And it's just a way for him to continue getting power. He can also plug in. Literally, there's I think a good scene in the book where when he gets back to his room at night, he pulls off one of his gloves and he takes like a port like from the wall and he plugs it right into the back of his hand, kind of like the Matrix. And then he can download information. He does this daily. He cycles it to get new information. So he's actually really, really smart. And he knows like everything because he's got access to the internet constantly. And he can do a lot of stuff. But he is very troubled because all of his implants. So Implant is really angry all the time. He's always in pain. His implants aren't good in a way. They're surgically implanted, but he's always hurts. He has a conversation with somebody at one point in the book where they ask him about it, and like they take a look at his oculars. They say, "Oh, they don't look good. Do they itch?" And he's like, "Yeah." Do they hurt? Yeah. He just kind of lives with it. He's got things inside of him that can lessen the pain that he feels, but he's always in pain. He hates it. Um, he doesn't ever talk about it. Other people in the team don't even know his real name. But what it comes down to basically is that he is owned by the $100 Heroes Corporation. Like he sold himself to them so they could do experiments with these augments and things. Something that he will not talk about with anybody. It's just one of those fact. It just it's a thing, but he doesn't ever bring it up. If anybody asked him about it, he wouldn't even. He just walk away. He wouldn't even talk about it, kind of thing. Um, Basically, he's owned by them. It's interesting dynamic for him. He has to do what they tell him. Um, but like he doesn't even have a choice. He can't even fight against it because of the implants in his brain. So he's got a really interesting backstory to him that's not going to be revealed in the first book, kind of thing. It'll be later on. Obviously, you know now, but hey, get to watch these videos, you get to learn some new and different things. Um, so really, I like Implant a lot because he's great on the battlefield. He's super. I mean, his speed and strength make him an amazing fighter. He doesn't really get along well with anybody else. He's not really into the whole teamwork thing. He'll lead a group of $100 soldiers and tell them where to shoot, what to go after, and show them how it's done, kind of thing. But he doesn't like working with the other heroes if he can help it. Um, yeah, he's not a fan. He really doesn't like Purge, which I'll talk more about in a future video. Purge here, obviously. But yeah, Purge is the youngest, and they don't get along at all. Purge is a knucklehead. He likes to make jokes, and Implant does not tolerate it. He hates it. So, really cool. I like that dynamic there. Then there you get a superhero team that doesn't always get along together. Kind of like how the new Avengers movies, they try to show that they're people. They don't always get along. Just how it goes. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for Purge. Or sorry, Implant. He's got all his cool augments. He can shoot lasers out of his hands. He's super fast, super strong. He can take a lot of hits. He can absorb energy to then use to shoot those blasts and other things. I think next time I'm going to plan on talking about Rumble, but that could, of course, change, or I might just forget that I said that. Otherwise, as usual, thanks for watching. Leave any comments, any questions, anything you want to know more about. Can continue the series with all the heroes, and then we'll start talking about some of the villains and different alien species that are on the planet as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you later.